there besties, what is up? It's me, Looks by Lottie, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something new. May I introduce to you, love it or leave it. So this is a new series that I am starting. It is heavily inspired by Smoky Glow's Yas or Pas, or if you also follow Nisi Pisa or Abby Williams, they also do very similar videos. I will leave their links in the comments below to go follow and subscribe to them because they have some good videos and I like their commentary on different products that come out. So I also want to do commentary. So thank you ladies for being such big inspirations. I also wanted to let you guys know that the name Love It or Leave It isn't necessarily an original name. There are a few other creators that I'm going to list right here that also do Love It or Leave It. One of them is for makeup and another one is for activewear. Go subscribe to them too. Let's all show some love here in the community. So what I was thinking about doing is taking all of the product releases that I thought were either great or terrible in the past month, and I'm going to tell you if I love it or I think we should leave it behind. Also, I'm going to be doing my makeup for photos. I'm about to take some Instagram pics in my cute outfit, but I figured I might as well get ready while I'm doing this. So I'm not just sitting in the camera not doing anything, you know. I've been talking too much. Let's get into this. Just a quick disclaimer, these are all just my opinions. If you disagree with me, that's okay. If I hate a product, you are allowed to love it and vice versa. At the end of the day, this is just makeup. I mean, we're literally on a floating rock in space and we have to pay taxes. Nothing makes sense. With that being said, let's begin. So how I decided to organize this is just by brand, and so we'll go down the line of brands and talk about their product releases, the earliest being the start and then the latest being the end. So we're going in like a weird order. Hope that's okay. So let's start with Fenty Beauty. Fenty Beauty thought it would be funny to release the Gloss Bomb Dip. We all thought that it was a prank. We were like, haha, funny. And they were like, no. And we were like, no. So personally, it's a leave it for me. It's very small and it's very easy for me to lose. Even though it has a clip, I lose things so easily. And I don't want to dip my fingers into gloss. Like, what am I gonna do with it on my fingers? Like, just, but there's leftover. Not a fan of that. And then also that formula, although I love it, it can just get so messy so fast. So I just know that that would be a recipe for disaster. We are going to be dragging this onto the chest today. All right, next up, their most recent release is the Bright Fix Eye Brightener. This is personally a love it for me. I'm actually kind of curious about how this is going to work. I personally don't have the worst eye bags ever, but I'm curious for my friends and followers and subscribers that do have dark under eyes, how it works. So if you pick it up and you have dark under eyes, let me know. I am probably gonna wait until I see some reviews before I pick it up, but it is intriguing. And if it works, I want it. All right, let's talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills next. As we know, they had a very bad month. So first they released makeup wipes in 2021. We know that makeup wipes are bad for your skin. I still use makeup wipes though.
Shh, I work at the bank.
I personally just like hate the feeling of like wetness or water on my skin. So that's why I'm working on it. Like I have, you know, like the micellar water and other things to wash my face, but I just like, I don't know, like makes me feel like I'm being tortured when I have to run my face under water. Or like when I see my mom and she just like, how did she do that? Sorcery. As I've seen a few other people say, they're actually a pretty good deal. I think it's $8 for all those wipes, but honestly, we do need to move on from wipes as a whole. And I'm calling myself out here. Because not only are they bad for your skin, but they're harmful for the environment. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. ABH also launched face palettes, which I like the idea of a face palette, sure, but this was just done so wrong. So wrong. They look like they could be really good at first, but the shade range is an embarrassment. If you're on makeup Twitter, you probably saw this, but this beautiful makeup artist swatched the darkest palette on her skin, and as you can see, the bronzer is way too light for her skin tone. Like, that's embarrassing. Anastasia Beverly Hills has just shown time and time again that they really do not care about people with darker skin tones, and I think this kind of put the nail in the coffin for them. I will be genuinely curious to see if they launch any other products this year after that Like, Normina, what are you doing? So for ABH in the month of April, I'll leave it. As usual, Colourpop released so many products I can't even keep track. Let's talk about it. I literally forgot. I was like thinking the other day, I'm like, wow, Colourpop hasn't launched anything in a long time. They've been launching things every week. I just haven't paid attention. Okay, so their first launch in the month of April were color sticks, and I actually am loving it. I personally don't need them right now because I feel like I have enough eyeshadows in my collection, but if you're kind of starting off with makeup and trying to play with fun colors, I think these are a good shade range to start with. As long as the formula is good, I can see it being really easy to use, and I hope that they also add on some matte shades and maybe some deeper shades as well. Next up, we have the eyeshadow quads. This is also a love it. Personally, I don't feel like I need more makeup at this point. But if you are somebody that is, once again, starting out in makeup and doesn't want anything that's too big or clunky, if you just want like a set of 4 eyeshadows, then I think this is a great place to start. So Jenna, if you're watching this, and I know you are, check these out. I also think that they have a pretty good shade range looking at the photo up here, and I heard about the formula is also good, so get into it. Next up is the Coming In Hot collection. Now, I don't actually know how to pronounce the word that is spelled H-A-U-T-E, so I'm gonna assume that it's pronounced hot, but if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. Anyways, these are a love. I like that they kind of took the more important shades of their 9 pans and just brought it down to 5. Another great option for somebody that is just starting into makeup and doesn't want too many colors, doesn't want to, you know, have a oversaturation of a bunch of products. I think that that's wonderful. That blue one is also super cute, and you might see that in my bag at some point this year. The Feather Effect Brow Styling Wax. This is a leave it for me, personally, because as everybody knows, and as I probably say in every video, my eyebrows are microbladed, so I just don't need products like these. Like, if anything, I just push them up and I go. Sometimes I might fill in the places that are like a little more sparse, but I don't need something like this, so I personally don't want it. And I also heard that the formula is not that good. Like, I heard that it's better than the Brow Freeze, but like also not as good as like other products, so I just wouldn't get into this. I think NYX has one that's a little cheaper. Somebody talked to me about that the other day on IG, so just get that one. Last for Colourpop is the Sweet Cheeks Blush collection, and this is a love it for me. I appreciate the shade range. They were able to get a bunch of different shades and 5 different palettes. I think that that is wonderful. Love being inclusive to all colors and skin tones. I think that it's interesting that they're blushes and also like a little bit of a highlighter, and I wonder if they're going to do contours next. I think that would be a very good move. Okay, Morphe has also upset me this month. The first launch of the month was the 35O Super Natural Glow. Excuse me, you launched this palette like 4 years ago. See? 35O. This is backwards. 35O. I want you to look at this picture here, and I want you to look at the shade range here. Like, why did they remake this? They discontinued this in 2018. That's why I bought it, because I thought I was going to use it more. Joke's on me. You don't need this palette. Unless you have no basic neutral shades, you do not need that. They also came out with the 30D Desert Bouquet palette. This is a leave it for me. Honestly, I think that the shade range is very strange. Like, it makes sense for what they're trying to do. Like, oh, like, we're pretty and we're in a desert and we have all these fun, pretty colors. To me, it doesn't make much sense. Like, I feel like the only reason you would need it is if you don't have any of the colors that are already in that palette. But it's very easy and a lot cheaper to just get like anything else. They also collaborated with Coca-Cola again for the I Like to Buy the World of Coke collaboration. This is a leave it. For the palette, why are there other colors besides like, you know, browns, red, and white creams? I went to the World of Coca-Cola and there is nothing blue about that place. Or green. The lip glosses in the collection are cute, but like, that's all they are, is cute. Is their mascara just like their other mascara but with the Coca-Cola packaging? Because I can guarantee that you're paying at least $1 or $2 for the fact that it says Coca-Cola on it. Also, I know how much these brushes are actually worth because, you know, you can go to the store and buy them individually. This is worth $26. You can buy all 5 of them for like $20 or less. don't get caught up in the gimmick. Morphe usually disappoints, but that was really bad that month. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what eye look I want to do. Literally, I don't want to do anything that's too like bold and brash because I'm going to my friend Jacob's house after this and just gonna eat pizza and pig out. I guess I can go into the 35O, use it for the first time since 2019. Don't yell at me. Let's talk about Rare Beauty. First, they released Always an Optimist Pore Diffusing Primer. For me, it's a leave it only because I don't really need any other primers right now. I'm like good, I'm set. I have 2, so I don't need more. But if you think it's good, then you can get it. I've heard good reviews about it, so I'm not saying that it's like a total turn off for me. I'm just stating that I'm not gonna get it. Next is the Discovery eyeshadow palette, which is in the style True to Myself. This is a love it, and I actually bought the palette. Here it is, right here in the flesh. So I like the formula overall of the mattes. The shimmers, they were a little bit tricky to get like good pigment for. Like that is like fine, but I kind of like a blinding pigment. But Rare Beauty isn't really that blinding, you know, super big and bold kind of brand. They're more low-key and I can respect that. Also, this shade in the middle is a glitter, so if you buy this, be careful. So if you think you'll like it, then pick it up. Highly recommend. Rare Beauty also came out with the Always an Optimist Weightless Eye Primer. Same as a regular primer, I am going to leave it because I don't need any more primers, and also I just need to kind of see more reviews. I'm good with my ABH primer right now, but if I run low or just out, then I might look into it and see what other people have to say before I pick it up. This next brand was like never really on my radar until I saw this palette. This is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Pastel Dreams palette. This is a love it, and I would buy it if I didn't already have the Ice Cream Dream palette from Glamlight because they're kind of basically the same thing. Something that I like is that they have one shimmer for each matte and they're paired next to each other in the pan. So I think that that's super helpful, so you don't have to like look through the whole palette to look for exactly what you need. And these also look super pigmented, especially that yellow, and in my opinion, it's really hard to find a really pigmented yellow matte. So pick it up, y'all. The only release that I saw from Pat McGrath was their Divine Blush collection. I don't like how they call it Skin Fetish. Can we, like, I know that sex sells, but can we please stop putting sex into makeup? It's very uncomfortable. Stop. But from what I've seen, this is a love it. The shades that I have seen are really good, but I just know that it's gonna be like super expensive, so I'm not even thinking about like purchasing it at all. That pan design is very pretty though. Gotta hand it to them. All right, next up is Jaclyn Cosmetics, and this is their Prep and Set collection. I'm honestly a little confused. Overall, for me, it's a leave it. I don't necessarily have a problem with the products themselves, but first of all, Jaclyn can sell ice to a polar bear, so I'm gonna wait for the reviews to get like a final verdict of how I feel about it. And also, I feel like that her products are way too expensive. Like the under eye primer is $24. That's like over half a tank of gas for me. So Jaclyn Hill really wants her brand to be recognized as a luxury brand, but I don't think that she's entirely come back from her scandal back in 2019. Was it really 2019? Yeah, it was. I don't think that she has the public's trust yet. I think she needs a few more good launches before she's in good standing with everybody. Anyways, let's go on to e.l.f. So e.l.f. and Jen Atkin, who was like the Kardashian hairstylist. She has her own hair brand. They did a makeup collaboration together. For some of it I love, some of it you can leave. Personally, I don't need the eye/face palette. Looking at it, it looks like that the top row is the eyeshadows and then the bottom row are for the face. I would have liked them to have released one more palette with darker shades for the face. If people like the idea of an eye/face palette, that's fine. I don't. It seems messy. I don't really have an opinion on the setting spray or the brow gel. It is what it is. When it comes to the lippies, if you watch my full face of e.l.f. review, you would know that I actually bought 2 of these and I actually really like them. And that brands need to do more of that 2-in-1 where one end is a lipstick and the other end is a lip liner. That's like so genius. e.l.f. needs to make more of them, and so do other brands. Next up, Hipdot and Reese's did a makeup collaboration. Personally, it's a leave it. I don't need any more neutral eyeshadow palettes. Also, the lipsticks in this collection don't really seem to match. I looked at Chocolate Lovers and it looks like it's an orangey pink. Like, why is it not like a brown? Like, I think they should have stuck with the theme there. I think that the theme stuck pretty well with the palettes though. The lippies fell short for me. Okay, next brand is Patrick Ta Beauty, and they came out with a major sculpt collection. Funny story about Patrick Ta Beauty. A couple months ago, I actually picked up one of their blush duos from Sephora, and I got it in the mail. I set it down and I haven't seen it since. Like, I have no idea where it went. I don't know if she went missing, if I like put her somewhere, but she's gone. So I haven't tried their formula before, but I want to leave it because the shade range seems a little iffy. Like 3 shades. What's up with these brands only doing 3 shades? And also something about the swatches on the darker arm makes it look like that it may have been edited. And that's something that is just not cool. Please excuse the horrendous way that I put on lashes. It works for me. Maybe it doesn't. I'm curious because I feel like that there are some of my viewers that are fans of Patrick Ta or own any of his products. Let me know what you think of them down below. I'm not totally against trying his products, but I just want to know an opinion on them first. All right, as I clean up this lash, let's talk about Melt Cosmetics. So this month they launched their Mary Jane collection, and I don't care if you smoke the good kush. Personally, I think that weed should be decriminalized, but on the other hand, this collection to me screams, we get it, you smoke weed. Like, it's just annoying because this is like their 3rd one or something, and I get the concept behind it, like smoke, you know. I don't remember what the other collections were because I wasn't interested in them because I don't smoke. This one we're gonna leave. This color story is one that I've seen before. It's not that unique. I don't really know much about their formula to make a suggestion or make a comment about it, but I bet it's fine. I feel like that this was something that Urban Decay did in 2017 or 2018. Don't get me wrong, I've heard good things about Melt. I'm not trying to like roast them here. The shimmer pots are actually very intriguing. I don't need any more makeup right now, so I'm not gonna get them. Let me actually put on both of my lashes. I'll be right back. All right, so Wet n Wild came out with a SpongeBob collection, which is obviously playing on the nostalgia factor, but this is one that I will accept because I love SpongeBob. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid. Overall, this whole collaboration was a love it. I really like the eyeshadow palette. I think it matches the theme perfectly. It's very on brand with SpongeBob with all those fun nautical colors. The highlighter is very pretty. I do want it, but I just don't think it would match my skin tone, so maybe I would use it like as an eye topper, maybe a blush topper. The sponges, adorable. I want them all. I don't really need that house thing though. I think that's used to clean them, but actually I might need that. Maybe I should get that. The other accessories are kind of excessive. I personally wouldn't really need them, but I understand like if you don't already have these products or want to get them, then get them if you want. I'm just more of a makeup freak instead of a brush freak. KKW Beauty released their eye contour duo this month. Miss Kim Kardashian, you really thought you were doing something, weren't you? Literally $24 for 2 eyeshadows. $24. Way too expensive. Bad shade range as well, and it's just too simple. Like, too simple. Literally, like, go to CVS, buy a Maybelline eyeshadow palette, like one of those like $8 ones, and you have more opportunities to contour your eyes. Eye contour. Is it 2017? Gosh. Look at them use, hee hee. BH Cosmetics released 3 remix dance palettes, one for each of the more recent decades, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Overall, it's a leave it for me, but let's break it down to each one. The 80s one actually seems pretty on brand with their bright neon colors, although I think there are some shades that they could switch out, but otherwise, pretty good. For me personally, the 90s one seems a little bit off, but also I was born in the 90s, so I don't really have many memories about it, but like, this doesn't seem correct. It doesn't seem correct. And then the 2000s one, I do remember the 2000s very vividly because I tried to put pastel blue shimmer eyeshadow on my lids in 2009 and I regret it. Sadly, they don't have that specific shade, but I think that it's more on brand. I feel like that they should have taken like some of the shades in the 2000s one and brought it to the 90s, because I thought the 90s was like grungy, right? Like 2000s was like kind of like smoky experimental eyes. They stuck pretty well with that one, but overall I'm just not gonna buy it because I don't need it. And also I don't really care about the brush set. I just don't. Another brand that had a bad month is Fenty Cosmetics. Wow, who would have thought? So they released 3 palettes that are called Foroscopes. 3? But 4? And they're like fire sign, earth sign, wind. What about water? What about it? Why did you forget her? So these are just bad. It's a big leave it. They're designed to look like they're all different, but if you actually look very closely, everything is like repeated in itself. They're just kind of like move things around and change the pan sizes. They could have really done something here, but they're not smart enough to introduce new shades. I mean, their Hoola shade range is abysmal. They need to expand that range. Speaking of expanding that range, for the 20th birthday of Hoola, they released the Hoola Glow. Who asked for this? Who wants a sheeny bronzer? That's like so 2000s. Don't understand it, and I don't want it. This is their big 20th birthday glow up, which is really stupid. Okay, I think we're almost done. So Huda Beauty came out with quite a few products. They came out with their Lip Contour 2.0. I haven't tried their 1.0, so I wouldn't know how it is. This looks like a love it to me because it's a lip liner that also includes a shaver. And there are some brands that should have been doing that a long time ago. Kylie. It also looks like they have a decent shade range overall and they can work with different kinds of lippies, but also it's $19. They also came out with Power Bullet creams. They came out with like, I think a nude and a browns one. And I think that this is a love it. I've tried their normal Power Bullet formula before. I have 2 of them. And so I'm very interested to see what the cream formula is like. From what I've seen online so far, it has pretty good reviews, so I might pick this up. They also came out with a Glow Obsessions mini face palette. I think they like redid their first one and made it smaller. The shade range looks pretty good. I like that they have 3 palettes, one light to dark, and I think that the shades are pretty good, but why does it have Huda's face on the front? To me, that just seems like, I don't know. Like if I came out with makeup, I wouldn't put my face on it. That just seems odd. But live your truth, I guess, queen. And I bet that that formula is good, so do what you want. All right, those are all of the brands that I had written down to talk about this month. My makeup look is done. I'm feeling very cute on fleek. Did you pick up any of these products that I mentioned? Let me know what you think of them down below. And also let me know if there's any other brands that you want me to cover. There are some brands, but I'm not gonna talk about their releases because I don't like them or I don't care. But if there's any indie brands that you want to put on my radar for me to talk about in these videos, then let me know. Also, if anybody knows how to get rid of this separation in your bangs, also let me know because I hate it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I put out videos every Tuesday and Friday. Unless I failed my practice exam, but I'm only gonna be uploading every Friday for a while. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps my page grow, helps me know that you're there and you're watching. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all and I will see you in the next one. Bye!